Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about land degradation. Now, what is land degradation? Decline in the productive capacity of the land, mainly by the human activities, is called land degradation. It means the loss of the natural fertility of the soil because of the loss of nutrients in it. This is called land degradation. It is mainly caused by the multiple factors like deforestation, overgrazing, mining, over-irrigation, urbanization and industrialization, excessive use of fertilizers and pesticides, as well as water pollution. Now we will discuss these factors one by one. First of all, deforestation. What do you mean by deforestation? Deforestation means the reckless cutting of trees. The loss of the trees, which actually anchor the soil or bind the soil with their roots, is one of the main reasons of land degradation nowadays. Deforestation and the depletion of the forest has led to the loosening of the soil particles, which are more prone, means they're more inclined to soil erosion and hence causes degradation. Second is overgrazing. Overgrazing refers to the excessive eating of the grasses and the other green plants by the cattle. It results into reduced growth of vegetation, reduced diversity of the plant species, excessive growth of unwanted plant species. It increases the soil erosion. It results in the loosening the grip of the roots on the soil, and the soil loses its nutrition and thus gets degraded. For example, in Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, overgrazing is one of the major cause of land degradation. Next is mining. For mining, what do? We dig the earth, and before that, we need to destroy the forest cover of that area. So, mining destroys landscapes, forests, wildlife habitat at the site of the mine. Topsoil is also cleared from the mining area, and sometimes the land are left abandoned without any proper treatment after mining, which in turn leads to the soil erosion and the destruction of the agricultural land. States like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Orissa, Madhya Pradesh, here mining is the main reason for the land degradation. Next is over irrigation. We all know that irrigation is necessary for agriculture, but over irrigation is responsible for land degradation. It creates waterlogging, which in turn leads to an increase in the salinity and the alkalinity in the soil. It retards or slow down the percolation of the water into the soil when it settles down on the land. In our country, the states like Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh, over irrigation is responsible for land degradation. Our next factor is the excessive use of fertilizer and pesticides. We all know that fertilizers provide essential nutrients to the soil. It improves the soil textures, introduces various essential bacteria which are helpful for the growth of the plants. But the excessive use and the misuse of the pesticides and the chemical fertilizers actually kill the microorganisms and the other beneficial bacteria that help in soil formation. Thus, it increases the rate of the soil degradation by destroying the soil's biological activity. Next is mineral processing. Mineral processing, like grinding of limestone for the cement industry and the calcite and the soapstone for the ceramic industry, this kind of industry generates heavy amount of dust and releases it in the atmosphere. It later settles down in the surrounding areas, affecting the infiltration of the water and the crop production. Infiltration means the process by which the water on the ground surface enters the soil. Next is industrialization. Now, soil contamination is another problem which goes hand in hand with industrialization. Forests, forests are being cut down for the development of the industries, and various ecosystems are destroyed to create the roads. Heavy metals and the toxic chemicals of the industry, they leach down into the soil. They get into the soil, they enter into the soil, which in turn degrade the soil and contaminate the crops that grow there. So, in this way, we can say industrialization affects the soil and causes land degradation. Then, urbanization. Now, due to urbanization, the trees are being cut down recklessly for the construction of the roads. Overpopulation also directly affects the forest covers because with the expansion of the cities, more land is required, more land is needed to establish housing and the settlements. So, this is how urbanization leads to land degradation. Next is industrial effluents. Industrial effluents refers to the wastes that are discharged into the surface water. They are actually the undesirable byproducts of the industries. In the recent years, industrial wastes and the effluents have become a major source of the land and water pollution in several parts of our country. Land gets degraded, it gets polluted by the industrial waste like garbage, harmful chemicals, which in turn increase the toxicity in the soil and deteriorates the quality of the soil. So, children, these are some of the factors which are responsible for land degradation.